Okay, so here today we've got some Matchmaster bandpass filters, and there's actually 6 different models that we've got here today. So I'm going to just explain a little bit. Filters are all the rage at the moment because our TV signal is getting destroyed by a lack of filtering and an overloading of equipment. So I'll quickly start with a little overview. I've got a little hand-drawn picture here, and this sort of explains what the spectrum was. So we've got originally channel 0 to up to channel 69 when we had analog TV. Now we've got digital TV. What we did is we reduced it from channel 6 back here right up to channel 51. Channel 51 is the same as 494 megahertz. And so what the government did is they said, okay, we're going to have 5 different blocks. We're going to have block A, which is 6 to 12, block B, block C, D, E, and they're all side by side, all of these digital blocks. So these are called channel blocks. Most capital cities, channel block A is probably the major tower, and in the case of Melbourne, that's Mount Dandenong. And in most cities, they have these little transmitters for other areas or black spots, and in the case of Melbourne, channel block D is the one that's often used. So yeah, we've got a little bit of an issue. Another one of my hand-drawn pictures here. This is a case, say, of radio parts, where we've got radio parts over here, which is in West Melbourne, and radio parts was in a situation where you've got Mount Dandenong up here, and we were sitting in the shadow of the city, so we used to get good TV signal, and then the city would block a lot of that signal out, and so the government set up a tower here in the CBD in Burke Street, Melbourne, and they retransmit that on channel block D. So it's quite smart doing that. So if I go back to that last picture, we've got Mount Dandenong here on channel block A, and now in the middle of the city we've got channel block D. If you've got, in the case of radio parts, a professional head end, then the head end will take care of it. But what happens if you're a normal household? So radio parts, we stick up an antenna and we pretend that we're a normal household. We're getting this signal from Mount Dandenong, so your TV will say, yep, I've got that, I'm happy with that. Okay, maybe the level's not as high, but then it's also getting now signal from the city on channel block D, and it's saying, okay, I'm going to be picking up that. That's not a good situation. You only want to pick up one or the other. So what you have to do is, in the case of radio parts, the city is a better choice. So we have to filter it so that we get just channel block D, so your TV is not confused and your signal's improved. So that's the idea behind all of these products. In the case of Como, around areas like that, again, we've got the same situation where, you're picking up Mount Dandenong, and say over here in St Kilda East, we'd be picking up the Como South Yarra signal. Again, we can filter out the unwanted towers. So, I'll show you a little cheat sheet that I've got here. And these are the channel blocks, so channel block A, and I've got the frequencies up here. You probably can't read it, but we also post this online. Feel free to email me if you want further details. So we've got 6 to 12, 28 to 33 being channel B, right beside it 34 to 39, and each of these will correspond to a Matchmaster product. So to start off, they've got one product here, which is just filtering out the top of that signal. So just filtering out anything above the TV spectrum. Why that's so important? Going back to my fantastic diagram. Over here, at the end of the TV spectrum, we've got LTE signal. So this is, likes of Optus, so they start on 703 megahertz. And then, they've got 10 megahertz of bandwidth, then you've got Telstra and whatever else. There's a heap of signal being pumped through this area here. And so due to that high level of signal, it's causing issues with TV equipment. So the first thing that you want to do, and if in doubt, often the way of fixing it is using an LTE filter, so getting rid of those high frequencies. And this is a product here, so 09mm-FD02, and this is how it looks. I'll move my artwork for a moment. And so in the case of Matchmaster, they supply a filter in its casing, and you have a cable tie which you put around your curvation mount or around your mast that's connected to your TV antenna. So you connect it there, and your TV, your antenna signal will be going in here and then out of there down into your house. So the cable will be going in here, out of there. Excuse the drivers in this area. You put this little clip, so you'll have your cables coming out, and then you close the lid on it. So installation is very simple. In the Matchmaster case, most people will just give you a filter. They give you the casing also. So that's how it would look. And every one of their products comes in the same kind of casing. So that's just mounted beneath your TV antenna. If you've got a masthead amplifier, I'd probably suggest just using the masthead amplifier with LTE filtering inbuilt within it, so that you don't have multiple connections. Now, in that situation, so that all that's doing is filtering out that Telstra and Optus, and that'll fix a lot of problems. If you want to take it one step further and avoid getting unwanted signals from other TV towers, then you've got to look at the channel block filters. And so they have a few different ones. So you've got here 09mm-FD03, which this is focused on this channel block B, channel block B, so 28 to 33, channel block B. So get that product for channel block B. If you're going to move up the spectrum a little bit, and you want to get channel block C, you've got to be looking at channels 34 to 39, and therefore 09mm-FD04. So how do you know what channel block you're in? The ACMA have a tool in which you can put in your address, and it'll tell you which channel block you're in. There's also the MySwitch website. There's a load of things. Otherwise, again, give us a buzz. So channel block C is FD04. And then we've got channel block D, which would be a very popular one, this one, because it affects a lot of the capital cities, and that's FD05, so 40 to 45. And then you've got channel block E. Tends to be more regional areas, I guess, 46 to 51. So that's FD08. Matchmaster also have another one which will cover 40 to 51. So really this is a D and E filter, which again should be quite a popular one in different areas. And obviously the last one which we saw before is the FD02. So that's just cutting out your Telstra and your Optus, and that will fix a lot of problems also. So I guess in summary, particularly in capital cities where you're getting multiple towers in each area, in the case of say radio parts, we're going to be going for that channel block D filter, and we'll be receiving just our signal from Burke Street CBD, and we get to cut out all that confusion and signal from Mount Dandenong. So interesting product, and I think it'll be a common accessory for a lot of antenna installers and even households. Thanks for tuning in.